decent fish. That's a decent fish. There you go. Good morning, YouTubers. Welcome back to Alternation. So yeah, back after the bass, right? This morning, I'm going to talk a little bit about my transitioning tactics going from August to September. We're starting to get some weather pattern changes, and we're going to discuss that as well as confidence fishing. So stay tuned. Let's catch a couple more. Start off first saying good morning, of course, and thanks for joining us here in Arkansas, Lake X. You know I can't disclose that information, but anywho, I wanted to discuss today a little bit about my transitioning techniques and patterns. So we're in the month of August, towards the end of the month of August, moving into September. Starting to see some cooler nights. Water temperatures are staying relatively same. Cooling off just a hair at night, but I kind of want to discuss how I'm approaching this. So, as most of you know, Texas rig is mostly my go-to bait, right? That's what I like to fish. I'm confident in it, which brings me to topic number 2, confidence. So today we're just going to kind of discuss my approach, where I'm fishing, how I'm fishing it, and why I have confidence in that. So the fish are still active, right? Like I said, the water temperatures are still kind of up. This morning we're looking at 85 degrees, and it is 7:30. So why fish something slow? Well, because I'm confident in it. But mostly just because it's relaxing. It gives me a chance to feel the bottom, see what's going on, see what the fish are doing, and gives the fish a chance to find my bait. There's a couple factors there. So a lot of people use big worms, you know, Mag 2s, you know, just big giant worms. On these types of reservoirs like I'm fishing here in Northwest Arkansas, I'm not going to say that won't work, but I've tried it, and my fish catches go way down. If I stick with something like this U-tail, you know, 6 inches or so, if I stick with something like this, my bite average is a lot higher. Although they may be smaller fish, I'm still catching something. Now, granted, if you was trying to win a tournament, maybe that wouldn't work. But for somebody that's just out here trying to have a good time, learn new lakes, get on some fish, I think it's a good tool. So I stick with the smaller worms. I really like this U-tail, and I mean color. I like a darker color, always have. You know, blues, blacks, you know, stuff like that. Watermelon colors, darker colors. So I'm pulled to it. It works here. I'm sticking with it. I don't want to get too sophisticated, right? My confidence level, that's where it's at. I think confidence is a big thing. You get out here and you start throwing all crazy baits and stuff that you have no clue how to fish, how it works, where to fish it. You're kind of spinning your wheels, I feel. So I tend to gravitate towards these baits that I'm confident in. So you might ask, you know, why here? Why in the middle of the lake? Well, that's going to depend on your lake, right? So you're looking at water depth. So I'm trying to stick to about 10 foot of water first thing in the morning. These fish, they'll move up and they'll feed, and then when that sun gets high, they'll come back down, right? A lot of times they'll stay up on these points or the shallow water majority of the night, right? So like the past couple nights we've been having some pretty full moons. So I'm willing to bet that these fish have been staying pretty shallow all night, and then first thing in the morning I think that they're backing off just a little bit. And whether that be to rest before the next feeding period, or you know, just bedding down waiting for this weather pattern to change. Like I said, the weather is kind of, you know, wishy-washy. At night cooling down, during the day warming back up. So these fish I think are moving around a lot more. They have that sense, right? They know what's coming. They start to prepare for it. They move back and forth in preparation for those weather pattern changes. I'm going to fish mostly out here. I'm not going to fish a lot on the docks. I'm not going to fish a lot on the banks. Can you catch fish there? I'm sure you can. There's fish everywhere. But I was once told by an elder gentleman that is pretty wise. He said, for every fish that you catch on the bank, there's 10 behind you. So I have put that theory to the test, and I believe it. So I stick more to these points, ledges, deep water brush piles, laydowns, stuff like that. just because I have had better average numbers and better size. Every now and again you'll get on the bank and you'll cruise and you may cover a mile worth of bank, catch 2-3 fish, maybe some decent ones. But I think that this works a little better for me because I can get those fish numbers up, right? I can come out here and I can fish this point for an hour and catch 8-10 fish, no problem, and go about my day. Just like I was saying, confidence. Confidence. That's where it's at. Now this one looked pretty good. Those fish are moving up to feed this morning. Oh, that's a pretty little fish. He's been caught a couple times. Had some holes in his mouth. But those fish are moving up to feed. They're getting active. I think that with the moon phases that we've been going through for the past couple of days, it's been pretty bright at night. I think that they're feeding the majority, most of the night. So that first in the morning bite that you would normally get, you know, that 6:30 bite is a little slow. And then it normally picks up around this time, 7:30, 8 o'clock, and it'll hang on sometimes till about 10. The bite gets slow and it gets tough, but I think that's where this small finesse style worm comes in, right? The big giant worm, I just haven't had luck with, so I'm going to stick to these smaller Zoom worms. And there's a few other baits that I would throw right now if this worm wasn't working too, and I have those, of course, laid out on the deck here. But I have a jig, so if the worm wasn't working, if it was a little too fast, I'd slow down even more with my approach, and I'd start dragging that jig along the bottom. I prefer to use a jig flipping stuff, right? Whether it be deep or shallow. I don't know. I have more confidence in the worm dragging it, so I tend to stick with that. But you could throw that jig. Also have, in case they start feeding real good, sometimes right around this time you'll start seeing them and they'll start busting everywhere. They'll be busting all over the place, and you can grab that topwater bait and throw it out there. And I have a whopper plopper tied on now, but you can sometimes grab that buzz bait. It'll do the trick too. And I'll throw it out there if the fish are real active and moving a lot, looking for that reaction bite. So you might ask yourself, you know, where does confidence play in this, you know, I guess realm of fishing? Well, I think that confidence is a key part of everything in life, just in general. So my confidence level, I try to keep up. And then in fishing, it's by fishing the baits that I like, the baits that I know catch, baits that I feel comfortable with, baits that I understand where to throw them, how to throw them. So my average goes up, my confidence is boosted even more. In life, same thing. It's really hard to be successful at anything if you're not confident. And confidence starts inside here, right? It's that gut feeling, it's that heart guiding you. I mean, you could literally talk about confidence forever, right? I mean, it applies to all kinds of things. But I feel that in fishing, it's necessary. I mean, it's necessary. It's something that you've got to take out the bag. So confidence plays a big role in anything and everything that you do. How do you gain confidence? From wins, right? Confidence is also contagious, right? So if you're in a team, whether it be work or sports or whatever, you got a confident person on your team. A lot of times that's very contagious. It'll bleed over. You thrive off that confidence, right? The energy levels are high. You feel good about it. You get you get some good, boosts, just life boosts. And I mean that's real important. I feel that we don't have enough confidence because a lot of times people are being looked down on or spoken down to. People on the dock back here enjoying their morning coffee. Hear me out here talking to myself. Probably think I'm crazy, but oh well. Catching fish, that's all that matters. So I'm starting to see those fish pop a little shallower. So we're gonna move in just a hair and see if they're hungry. There's a fish. I guess my confidence is being boosted. Bad looking little fish. Not bad at all. So, like I was saying earlier, confidence, man. My confidence is like through the roof right now because I'm putting a pattern together. What I thought was gonna work is working, and we're putting fish in the boat. I mean, you can't go wrong, right? I think confidence plays a big role in life, whether it be fishing, school, being on a sports team, whatever it is. If you don't have confidence, man, you're not going to be successful. Confidence is a big part of making things happen, right? No fish. Just putting it together and making it happen. I mean, that's where it's at. That's a good chunky fish. I think people think too hard. They look at it too hard. They're just making things harder than it needs to be. Change that worm out. I think if we would just focus on what we know, make a plan, work the plan, you'd be a lot more successful. There's a lot of information out there, but not a whole lot on the mental aspect of fishing, right? I think that's my goal. I want people to know that, I mean, this is a lot of mental that goes in this fishing stuff, right? It's not just, oh, what bait, what color, what this, what that. Look, I'll be honest with you, I don't have a huge bait selection. I don't have a whole lot of different things to make a giant tackle box just slap full of whatnot. I have very basic baits, very mediocre equipment when it comes to the bass fishing world. It's all up here. I have a lot of mental confidence. I believe in myself. I believe that I know what and where they're at, what I need to do to catch them. And I work that plan. Some days, yeah, I'm gonna scratch. Some days, yeah, I'm not gonna catch giants. But I do know that if I come out here and I be confident and I work around, I'm gonna figure something out. I'm interested in what your thoughts are on these topics kind of discuss, you know. This pattern that I use, late summer, confidence. How do you feel about that? How does that affect your fishing? How does that affect your life? I know it affects mine big time. But I do think that sharing outdoor motivation with others is very important, right? I mean, you got your all-time greats, Zig Ziglar, John Maxwell, just to name a few. I mean, I really enjoy their books. They have some great topics they discuss. But you don't see many people talking about outdoors and motivation together. And I think that that's a really important thing. You can reach such a large crowd of people. I'm talking massive. Everyone that enjoys outdoors. And I may not have the greatest fishing advice. I may not have the best life advice. But I'm sharing what I do know in hopes that it does reach others. You know anyone that could use a little outdoor motivation? Share it with them. Share these videos with them. Bring them out on the water. Talk about life. You don't have to just discuss fishing while you're out fishing. You can talk about whatever you want. I've had some of the greatest life lessons and discussions with my kids on the boat. Just talking freely. Just visiting, relaxing, and talking. The outdoors does something to people, man. It's this. I mean, look at this. What's your thoughts on outdoor motivation? How does that make you feel? Think they belong together? Is this something that we can marry and make a holy matrimony? I don't know. I got corny jokes. My wife tells me all the time, well, I'm not a camera guy, to be honest with you. I mean, yeah, sure, I have a beautiful face, but not a camera guy. I'm not a movie star. I'm just an everyday dad, husband, man, doing what he loves, sharing it with others. And I think that's important. I really feel that's important. It's my passion. Maybe it's my calling. Who knows? I think that there's something to be said there, though. A lot of opportunity. Lots of opportunities. All right, folks, that's all for today. Got things to do. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Wife hates when I do that too. I like doing that. Emphasis. I like the emphasis. A little boost of confidence, maybe a few tricks, tips, things you didn't know. But yeah, if you don't mind, go ahead and share this feed, man. Let's share this outdoor motivation with everyone. Let's spread the wealth, right? And make sure to subscribe and like, and check us out. We got some more stuff coming. Got some rod and reel reviews. Got some tackle tips and whatnot for storage in the boat. A few things coming up. So yeah, check us out. Later.